Okay, so nobody told me about the weather before I moved to Illinois. Roaches. Making sure ain't nothing in my glass. Something. Alright, so that explains that when he was trying to get my drink. Give me a second to reboot. Let me get reboot from here. Can't even leave drinks in your own fucking apartment without rodents and pests and shit. People that are pests. People that are rodents. Alright, so not everybody believes in going out gathering their own resources. It's the world we live in. Teach your kids at any age, especially while they're young. It's easier, but if it's an older person, if they're old, if they have a teachable spirit, you can still work with that. Where was I? No one told me Illinois was a storm state. I'm recalling now getting caught in the sandstorm. Chicago is known for being the windy city. I remember some prophet mentioned that to me years ago, and I can't get into the information that I know on that windy city part, but it is definitely, I can tell you what I'm allowed to tell you, and that this is a storm state. And the locals do not take, most of them anyhow. I've met a couple of them, about a handful that are woke like me, and they do not play in this inclement weather. It's like storms on top of storms, winter storms. I can't reveal where I got this information, but I knew leaving the South, it'd be a karma boomerang. It was going to be a trade-off for leaving the hurricane, the tornado weather. So I knew it was too good to be true when I made it to Illinois, and I asked this person, my source, I said, what do y'all, I won't get into all that, but what's the trade-off for Illinois? What's the weather like here? And yeah, this is a storm. They get storms here. It's a storm state. Winter storms, heat storms, rain storms, tornadoes. I won't rule out hurricane. We've had a couple that didn't affect us tremendously. One I know for sure that happened over the summer around that time. And that Know Your Exes video that I put up, it was a bunch of horny old seniors. There were not a whole lot of women. I'm not sure if I was the only woman at this venue or not. Packed full of ballroom. Packed inside a ballroom. Women and children. 1, 2, 3. Me plus 2 kids. I only found 2 people in that genre. In a room full of homeless men. Poor homeless men. With no access to pussy, no access to money. It was scary, quite scary, being stuck in that ballroom. And the men were rude and offensive. And as a woman trying to find a safe way to exit, when I do find this exit, it's crawling with kids. They are blocking the exit. I'm like, the guy had already said something offensive to me at the table, 2 of them. And I finally found the exit, and it's like 2 fucking kids blocking the door. I'm like, wanting to say out loud, shit, fuck, damn. But it's my nature. I have a helping nature. I feel like it's a weakness, even with the demon in me. I'm like, most people would just pick these kids up and toss them out of the way. Move the fuck out of the way. You're blocking me in, and you see I'm trying to get by, and you are scared to death. So am I. Please move. But I just waited. My heart went out to him. I waited, even though I'm in danger too. It took me a long time to think this way. The children, women and children, there's an old philosophy: go first. Most people in modern America do not feel that way. It's safer not to feel that way. And if you find yourself with people who press that philosophy, you're in danger. Because the weak men get mad when the women get to go first, children get to go first. I just left a food bank, and I'm not all the way out of it, but they let the women go first, and the men, they get mad. So just be careful when they have that. Women, not every man feels that way. They get upset because they don't have a vagina, they get mad. They don't have a pussy, they get mad. They don't get to go first. So you be careful in your situations where the women and children go first. But these kids, and it felt like it lasted like 2 hours, but it was really moments where I didn't mean to give away their location. Nobody knew that. They were crouched down in a corner. They were hiding. And I didn't mean to give away their location, but the three of us were looking for the same thing: safety. Trying to get away from those homeless men. They need, I'm not going to say what they need, but there was security there, but they were out hanging out like they at the locker room or the house. Probably best, because when men do get hard and they decide to protect women and children, it's not something you want to see. They probably didn't even know it was even happening, since it was happening in a different room. These men didn't look all the way weak. You know, some men, I call them, they're hard in moments because they want to impress the woman that they want to. I won't get into all that because I don't want a ban on a particular app. I'm not sure which app I'm going to wind up putting this footage on. Yeah, and then once you're out, returning back to the same place, because that's how hard it is to get food in Chicago without cash. And I keep trying to get back to employment, but it never works out. And I want to get away from people who keep treating me like it's my fault. I feel like an ex-con, because I am an ex-con. When you find yourself arrested, irregardless, my ex used to always hate on me, hate on my street credit. I'm not telling you my background and I've been arrested to flex. I'm telling you because I want you to know who you're moving in your house. It's hard for ex-con to get back to work. No one wants to hire you. So I'm stuck with these until I found the Golden Goose. I just found a place that's really legit, but the weather is really, really shit. The weather is preventing me from being there in the way that I'd like to be there. So finally found something God sent, but it is hard for ex-con to get reemployed. I'd much rather just I'm used to making my own money. Most of my life has been spent. A lot of people think that my exes took care of me. The last ex is the only one to a point that did financially support me to a point. I won't get into all that, but all the other ones, you can't judge a book by its cover. You see me out spending cash, you see me with cars, you assume that my exes gave me the cars and the cash. No. I was forced to work, made to work. I worked to attain those things. I've never had a man give me a car. I won't rule it out. Never had a woman give me a car. I had to hustle up and earn my own cash to get those vehicles. Yeah, the illusion that, and I didn't realize it at the time, that's the illusion that my exes wanted, to make it look like they was buying those things. And I had someone, I'm not going to reveal her name for her safety and my own, she pulled me aside and I didn't know it until I seen how hard you worked. I can't even reveal what job we was on. It's too dangerous. Even though she's no longer with us, because she's got family that's still living. It'd be dangerous for them if I speak out too much. But yes, she was like, seeing how hard you working here, ain't no way that man bought you all that stuff, and you out here working like a man yourself. She said people are just that way, not just your relationship, but in a relationship, people make assumptions. You see a woman with assets, you see a woman with cash, you assume that the man she is up underneath bought that stuff. And she said, I'm sorry, but we thought that he was buying you all that stuff. That's why we thought he was such a great guy. She said, that happens. That happens in a lot. She says, more common than you think. People be thinking that the woman bought that stuff. I mean, strike that, reverse it. You got that. Well, actually, yeah, that's it. The woman bought it, but the man and it's usually a black man. Usually the black man that is most of my, not all, but most of my dating, especially in the South, it's not safe for a woman who's not purebred white to date outside of a black man in the South. That's a good way to put it, because I have multiple breeds, and so yeah, but that's what you get when you're dating a black guy. They all the same, you know, the ones who are like Kobe Bryant, the ones that got money. I've never had a direct approach because I've always been with someone who blocked me from dating people that have money. So I'm not gonna say that someone like that would never be interested in me. You know, my confidence is finally up there. But you know, you can't find nobody who wants to take care of you and support you. Those are the ones that have money. The blacks. There are some black men out there that have money. My late grandfather, Roach. Excuse me. Did I get him? I got him. I guess he wanted to come off a story time. As I'm telling my story, here comes this roach. Sorry, this is a private session. I'm not ready for this to come up online yet, but he's no longer with us. I loved it when I had a prof just be in the middle of a sermon, a lecture, and just say, this person's no longer with us. He never said where that person went. Sometimes the classes would have absent peers. My peers just wouldn't be sure. I'm like, well, you know, sometimes I asked, sometimes I wouldn't. It was safer not to ask sometimes. Sorry, Mr. Roach is not with us anymore. He should learn not to be rude and not interrupt. Where were we? Men and buying stuff. Oh, yeah. But there are some blacks that provide for their families. Shaq, I don't know him off screen, but from what I'm seeing, the wife seems to be satisfied. Financially, he seems to at least take care of her. So I won't rule out that somebody with a black man with that kind of income would be interested in me. I won't rule it out. It's just this is the closest they've ever been to finding me, dating me. I've had all the poor ones blocking them off. The long time off and on common law marriage I was involved in, the one that I'm not gonna get into all the details because finally I've just been praying to God, please help me get past this. Please give me it's not me. It's not us. We think it's us, but it's not. The flesh is weak. We are the hands and feet is God. God saying, you need to talk about this. I know you're tired of talking about it, but it's healthy to get him out of your system, vent it out. Finally, you notice my posts are not so catered to my exes. Finally, God delivered me. It's like, God, shit, I'm tired of talking about these people. But you want to prevent it from happening to somebody else. So, this guy has been blocking me from people who could support me financially at least. I don't know what black men are like that are wealthy aside from the financial support because I've never dated a black man that was wealthy. So, but it's got to be better than what I'm working with right now. A homeless black man trying to go out with me and Jewish men. I'm sorry, I don't care how much Jewish people try to how to pass for white. At the end of the day, you are still black. You got a big nose, you got fluffy hair. You're a black person. Jewish is just a fancy way of saying light-skinned black person. You're a style. It's not a bad thing. Christ, one of the black girls told me this well, because I told her, how do you feel about it? I feel the same way she does. Christ was Jewish, It's own yourself. It's not bad to be Jewish. Stop pretending to be white. The nose is giving you away and the hair is giving you away. I have fluffy hair. I didn't get the Jewish nose, but I got the Jewish hair. It's like, get over the shit. I get tired of people who are Jewish acting like they're better than me. They got the nose in the air. Most Jewish people I know are so rude to me. This is why I feel so passionate about them like the blacks. Not all of them. There's a handful that treat me well, but the most of them mad at me because I did not get the Jewish nose, but I got the Jewish hair. They said Christ's hair was like wool. My hair is like wool. It is so like wool. So I could hear the rain coming down. I could hear the sleet, snow. It was a little light snow. I was out in yesterday getting food. The whole point to this video was I'm at an age where I ramble. I'm at an age, I'm in my 40s. Is this what we do? The older we get, 40 or more, you ramble. Hard to stop. Like diarrhea in your mouth. Once you start, it's like, it used to be a commercial. Once you pop, you can't stop. It might have been Pringles. That's it. Once you ramble, you can't stop. Once you pop, you can't stop popping that mouth. Like now. So winter storm is the whole point of this video, but we wound up talking about other things. So winter storms, you can hear the sleet. And it's not scary, it's just I don't like the sound of it hitting the windows. Rain and snow and if you don't know how to make snow, then you got some bigger problems. I'm not gonna get into how snow is formed. You should have learned that in grade school. That's normal at that age to not know how it's made, but by now, by my age, by 20, I'll give you that 20 years old, you should know. And yeah, so downtown on Sunday is secluded in Chicago. I did not know that. And I don't remember in Mobile, Alabama, if it was secluded or not on Sundays. I used to work downtown a couple gigs, and I don't remember. It's not someplace you want to be stuck. Like what I'm leading up to. You don't want to be stuck where business is closed down and you're not sure what time the buses and trains stop running. But St. Pius, yeah, they put you outside and then they give you food that's going right to the trash can so you can taste it. You can taste how old the food is. So that's going to be my last ditch-in resort. I'm not fully out from them, and something may come up to where I need them, so I don't want to burn that bridge. Like if I'm ever on that side of town, that bus 9 in Chicago is horrid. That's the bus I used to get there. There's no other way to get there unless you have a car of some sort, Uber, whatever, or your own car. I'm not sure. It may be worse in a car, but it's the longest bus ride, which is not bad because that means they're driving safely, but it is just the people who get off and on are in the same boat you're in, just happy to be to safety, somewhat happy to be off the streets. You can tell by the way they board the bus. No one gets off the bus. People only get on. And it gets worse as you go further north. Passengers get on. You're just hoping somebody gets off and more people just keep boarding. And it just makes you not even want to take the fucking bus. Like, just too many people. There's so many people in Chicago without cars. I did not know it until recently that there's this many people crammed into one state without a car, without a way to get around. And American laws are designed to keep people from walking around. You get these citations if you don't walk where you're supposed to walk. And what I found getting here, I had to do some illegal crossing, some illegal walking. This country isn't made for you to commute on foot from state to state, is what I found out. And the storms is what's making me recall those events. You can't just walk along interstates, even though that makes sense. Interstates are easy. It's just the speeding part that's scary. That scares me, even though cars don't scare me. Some people are scared of cars. I'm not scared of cars, but you hit 40 or more and you're on foot. That's even scarier than being in the car, but they're efficient because it's a straight shot. That's the best way to sum up versus the tourist trap. All the other roads are tourist traps. And I appreciate the honesty of the police. I'm not going to get into how they helped me get up here because there's some people that I wouldn't piss on fire to put them out. I still feel that way now, even though I've forgiven them. I don't want them to screw me over twice, so they helped me with some tips and tricks getting up here for a person without a car to get from state to state. That's why, so I never knew all these years, a good chunk of my life, that's why people spend so much money traveling in the states. I never knew the state was designed for you to have each state is designed for you to have a car. Each state is designed for you to have a job. And the homeless people, that's why they just stay homeless. They just give up, especially like me, ex-con. Even the simplest arrest, my arrest, it wasn't super simple, but it was simple enough. And I feel like the cop did that so I wouldn't be able to get reemployed. I feel like that's why he did it. And so in a way, I owe him a thank you. It wasn't. I wanted out from working from the American public, and it wasn't out the way that I envisioned it. It was better. God has been making a way out of no way, and more than one way for me. I finally don't have to work understudy to people just talking to me crazy. I don't know what else I can say about the storms, but just be careful traveling in these conditions. These drivers are not experienced and ready for this. I noticed that on the trains and the buses. Bus and train at your own risk. Do that at your own risk. And I got followed home by a fat girl yesterday. It was quite scary. I'm not gonna say what I had in my bag, but I could say it was edible. And yeah, it was scary how she was following me. It's like when you at home with your kids and you cook something good and you're trying to sneak around the house. Oh, I'm dealing with this rash. Trying to let that swallow. So my voice elevated because I just had to pull my skin off to get some relief. But yeah, that's what it was like. That's what it's like. And like a toddler would. Even though kids do this at all ages. Like a toddler would follow right underneath you, latch onto your leg. Thank God she did not latch onto my leg because I did not give her an opportunity. I ran from her, literally in the subway, ran. So I got this fat chick following me, and I got some edible in my bag, and she following me like that kid follow. Only this girl is like 20-something. She had an age where she knows better, and I'm a total stranger. So she knew she shouldn't have been doing what she was doing. I'm in the subway in the tunnel. She's toddler following me like I just came from the kitchen. I didn't come from the kitchen, but I came from somewhere good. So she's following me like a toddler would, darting. Toddlers are faster than grown-ups, so she's moving quick for a fat girl. Fat girl light on her feet. She's agile, so she is quick. Quite scary. I'm like, am I gonna have to fight this fat fuck off my bag? Is it gonna come to me fighting a child over my resource? And she had a male with her. And I knew other two of them were following me. I'm like, am I gonna have to fight a man child? These two, like 20-something. Both, I won't rule out him being after my bag either. He was at least tried to play it off. He at least tried to play it off like he wasn't really following me, but they were. She definitely, the fatter one, he wasn't super chunky. So Tyler following me in the subway, watching how I pay. And I don't fall for that one. They look like they had cash to pay their bill. It looked like they paid their bill. I'm not sure because I was busy paying my own bill. So they follow me, the reverse follow down into the subway. So yeah, she taller follows me with the food. Probably smells what's in the bag. I'm not gonna say what's in it because it's hard to get that. This is the first place I found what I got in Chicago, so she's probably smelling it. And people know shopping bags when they see them, even though this is a pretty ruddy bag that I got. This is a pretty ruddy shopping bag I got from a job fair. But you would have thought I had a Louis Vuitton bag. That's how she was following me. That's how valuable I'm learning that I am. That she's following me with a cruddy bag. Like a dog would when you, same thing like with a kid. You're the parent, you're trying to hide the good stuff, and you're trying to sneak around your own house from your dog. If you're a woman, men just shout at them and they go away. They shout at kids, they shout at dogs, they go away. But since I'm a woman, you got to sneak around the house with it. Or if you're a gentleman, and you don't believe in raising your voice to a man or a child, because you feel like you know how to control that power in yourself, that masculinity, you're not weak, you're hard, you just know when to let your heart out. You just, on the ones who have it coming, then you sneaking around the house with something good. It's this guy who, I won't say who, but he interviewed and said that, yeah, he's like that. He's not harsh on a child or a woman. He sneaks around his house with his wife with the good stuff. So eat a burger in the bedroom, hide from the children. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to hide the good stuff from the fat chick. Tiptoe around the subway. And those two kids were after me. I had something good in the bag, and they knew it, and they were after me. That sums it up. So that's how bad it's gotten getting food. You don't see too many people too often with food in Illinois. You do. This is why I can't wait to get to Kylie Jenner, get to California, and get closer to leaving this country. California would be a good start. You don't see people too often with food in America when you're out. Anywhere, period. And if you do see them with it, it's looking like, to me, they hadn't had food in a while. I saw this teenage girl holding on to some rinky-dink Popeyes. I used to work there, so judging by the size of the bag and the weight, without even having to go hold the weight to it, just the way how she held it, we're looking at about, and I know their specials, about 2 pieces of chicken and a biscuit in a bullshit side. They have sides that aren't, they're like a baby's portion, like for a newborn, like mashed potatoes or something like that is their standard. So it wasn't enough food for her. And it was just a weird arrangement. She had somebody with her. I can get into that briefly. He's got a Dunkin' coffee. They look hungry. Everybody knows that look. When somebody's hungry, you can tell. He's got in the hot coffee cup, Dunkin'. Their logos are pretty distinct. I'm trying to speed this up because I'm getting tired, but God is calling me. It's like, what time is it? It's 4 o'clock in the morning, so I've been up since about 2, 3 a.m. CDT Central. Getting sleepy, falling asleep as I'm podcasting. So he has Dunkin' hot coffee. You can tell by the make and model of the cup. She had a rinky-dink bag of Popeye. They look so happy. People so hungry in Illinois, and I'm hearing seniors every time. It's always on my bus ride express how hungry they are or how they can't get a good cup of coffee, decent cup of coffee in Chicago. So I managed to get away from this fat girl and her boyfriend, her husband. I managed to get her. She wasn't a 500-pounder, but she was, maybe 290 something. And I managed to get away. It's safer to, some people like to brag about what they get food-wise when they're out. Tyson used to do that. It was a hook to it to get women to come over, get men to come over, and lure men and women to our apartment. He'd have like a little rinky-dink bag of Church's or KFC, or I forget what the fuck his favorite restaurant was. And that was his hook to reeling people over, walk around with his little poor man's bag. That's what I'm seeing on the transits. Is people walking around with those bags to lure people wherever they're going, wherever the fuck they're going. But if you're like me, there are too many to count. I just haven't met them all yet. There are people like me that You don't want that attention. You're actually trying to eat without getting robbed, without strays following you home. It was a bunch of kids. Bunch of kids actually followed me. As soon as I got that bag packed up with what I had in it that was edible, they were following me. And they looked well to do, some of them, downtown. And this is just before I made it back to 64. And even in and out of downtown. People you wouldn't think would be hungry. So, one that looked just like Whitney Evans. I keep seeing all these ghosts of Whitney. It's hunting me. And so, just my whole point, because I'm getting sleepy. Hide your food. It's hard to hide a hot meal, but I can show it. I can teach it to you. Food. That's the state of address for our country. Food. I'm not. This isn't Louis Vuitton. This isn't like, I won't rule it out. When God does bless me that way, He will. This isn't Louis Vuitton bag. This isn't like Louis Vuitton shirts. I'm not walking around with $1 million in a suitcase flashing it, and they know it's money inside. This is basic food. This wasn't a gourmet food, and I got kids following me on the streets. Some people can't cook. Some people, a lot of the customers used to come in and working for the public. Most of the jobs I had were food. So I guess there's some confusion there about how they get food now. How do they get food? They're used to me doing it for them. Like your kids, when you don't make them self-sufficient, they follow you around. You decide to go have date night with your partner. That sums that up. You leaving money for the pizza if you got funds in that way, but really crippling them. You need to teach them how to cook, because they're going to be like these kids who's following me and don't know how to cook. And you ain't got to do it like my mom. My mom was too stern with me. You ain't got to be rude about it. Like, it's okay not to know how to cook. I could teach you that too. I could teach you without being a bitch to you, without being rude to you. I could teach you how to cook. So that will help these kids. Man, they're going to follow me regardless. What my last ex said, they know you got something good. They know who do the meals. But this will help you in my absence. There's not really much else I can say about the winter storms. They're hard to predict. They're just hard to predict. Those winter storms are just hard. All the storms, all the Illinois storms are hard to predict. But if you're coming to Illinois, you're going to run into some weather. You're going to run into some unpredictable bad weather.